All right. Very good. Welcome back, everybody, to the Radio Trigger podcast. As always, I have my co hosts, the Anime Bro and 20 Line. Guys. Yo, guys, can you hear me? Oh. All right. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Now action.
Welcome back to the Radio Trigger podcast. As always, I'm tensashinra, and these are my co hosts, 20 Line and the Anime Bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been having internet problems.
It was
So
totally fine before that. That's so funny.
yeah, that's weird. I think it's because he's also streaming too, so it's like
It could
straining
be.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways,
Yeah.
yeah,
Sort of. Yeah.
yeah. How about I do it again? How about I do it this time so that we can just go ahead and get to it. Um. All right. So, hello everybody, once again to the Radio Trigger podcast. I am with my co-hosts Tenza Shinra and 20 Online.
Yo yo.
Tenza, you still here?
Yes, I'm still here. All right.
Well, he's breaking up, but he's still here. He can
Yeah.
hear us.
He's alive.
So, yeah, he's alive. And we are with our special guest here, Be More Brass.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, yeah. You want to check his channel out? Link will be in the description below. So is our other channels. And yeah, let's just get into this. So I guess we'll just because we have our guest here. Can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm Be More Brass, Ian. I make anime content, I suppose. Video essays, reviews, that kind of stuff like that. Doing it for a few years now, and I just recently finished the video I'm the most proud of, which is about Chainsaw Man. It's sort of about how Chainsaw Man handles the theme of death in its story and how it sort of affects the whole entire theming of the story of part one. It only covers part one, but that's sort of kind of what I like to do on my channel is just sort of talk about analysis and kind of stuff like that, and hopefully can do some more of that stuff. That video took such a long time though, man. That video took me like months to do between writing it and editing it. It was just like, I'll do it again. I'll do another one, but not for a little bit. I'm gonna do some shorter videos coming up soon.
Yeah. So is
Yep.
so I'm guessing Chainsaw Man is one of your favorite animes or manga.
Yeah. So I actually did like the anime a lot when I watched it, but
Mm.
the manga is incredible. I mean, the anime. Like. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh my god, the anime wasn't good enough. Like, I'm so disappointed in it. What yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But it's just not enough. Like, it's only the first, 30, 40 chapters of the story that they adapted,
Mm.
and so I think the quality of the series gets so much better, like almost immediately after where the anime cuts off,
Mm.
and
Right,
so
right, yeah.
it's like not necessarily like one of my favorite anime, just
Yeah.
because I like the manga as a whole so much more. But I certainly liked the anime enough, right? So I think the
Yeah.
manga is probably it's for me. It's weird because I actually haven't read that much manga. I'm working towards that now, but
Mm.
I've only finished 3 series reading
Oh,
it. Well, I guess I'm saying finished. I finished part one, and I read Chainsaw Man weekly now.
yeah.
But I definitely watched a lot more anime. I have watched a lot more anime than I've read manga.
Mm.
So that's like top one, but it's of three.
Okay.
And one of the other three is Promised Neverland,
Hmm.
which I enjoy, but I don't like the ending very much. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like a default. It's kind of like a default top one
Yeah.
at this point. But yeah, I think it'll hold up as I read more. Still, I really do enjoy it.
So we actually have a few people watching now.
Yeah.
Someone's asking to Brass, can we get a hint on a future video?
Sure thing, Natai. The next video is going to be about Makoto Shinkai and Suzume, because I wrote that video back when that movie came out, and I don't like wasting work, so I'm in the middle of editing that one right now, and then the one after that is probably going to be about My Hero,
Mm.
because I need
Oh.
to continuously talk about My Hero on my channel for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I Last year, before season 6 came out, I made a video about how, well, the title was "I Miss My Hero Academia."
Mm.
It was essentially how, like, it used to be one of my favorite, if not my favorite anime during like season 2 back then.
Mm.
And then I've just like, I've just kind of fallen off on it. Like, it's just, for whatever reason, I've watched other stuff I've liked more, or I just haven't been excited. Like the last couple seasons, I just wasn't that excited for it. And so going into season 6, I was like, yeah, like I'm just not, excited for this series anymore. I'll probably watch it, but I'm not like, ready to like gonna watch it like the day it drops, the hour it drops, every day, every week.
Yeah.
And then so that happened. I didn't watch season 6. I just kind of let it pile up so I could
Hmm.
binge it. And
Yeah.
I binged it earlier this year, and I really enjoyed it. Like, I binged it in like 2 days.
Hmm.
I was like, oh wow, this is great. I'm really having a good time. So I'm, pretty much going to talk about how it's good again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the title of it, pretty much.
Yeah. That's basically it. Yeah. I kind of was the same thing. I haven't watched it since season 4 or 5.
It's hard to keep track. There's be 7 seasons soon. It's just like,
Yeah.
wow.
It's a pretty long series.
I mean,
I think we. Sorry to interrupt. I think we. I just have to quickly go to be right back screen so that Tinsi can restore his Discord and stuff to see if that works.
Sounds good.
Okay. Yep. Sounds good.
All right, go ahead, Tinsi, if you can hear us.
All right, we're back.
Okay, okay. Where were we at? Totally
I,
forgot.
I was talking about My Hero Academia. That's the
Oh,
last thing
okay.
we were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually just checked while we were waiting that season 6 is actually the highest rated season on Mal right now, which was a
Oh,
surprise to me. It's season 2, it's like season 6 is the highest, then it's 2, 3, 1. No, sorry, 2, 3, 4, 1, 5. So five's the by far the lowest rated season, which is where I think a lot of people just like stopped watching it
That
too.
was Overhaul,
Hmm.
right?
No, overall was 4.
Oh, what was 5?
5 was like the school festival.
um,
That
Oh,
makes
okay, yeah, I can
sense.
see why. I can actually see why now.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, like I'm kind of surprised that 6 is the highest because, well, not really.
Well, I mean,
I am, but
not.
I'm not because like it had its strong moments, but at the same time, like it wasn't like I don't know. I feel like the first 3 seasons were more consistent all the way through, whereas this had some slow moments.
I think with like 6, it was like Marineford in a
Mm.
sense that it was a big failure
Yeah, that
for
makes
Heroes,
sense. That makes sense.
and a lot of people like it when heroes have to or protagonists go through a hard struggle
Mm.
because they want to see
yeah.
them go back up.
Yeah, I can
It's,
see that.
it's the hero's journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see
Oh, I will
that.
say, take it with a grain of salt. I'm looking at the numbers, and it's like season 2 has 1.6 million people watched it according to Mal,
Mm.
and then it drops to 1.3 for season 3, about 1 million for season 4, and then season 5 it drops to 500,000,
Dang, holy!
Jeez,
and then season 6 is 250,000.
jeez, yeah, that's insane.
I think it was more like everyone saying, "Oh, it's overrated," and then at season 5, it's like maybe it's not overrated, just too much. Like maybe at this point it's underrated,
It's
and then
overhated.
yeah, it's overhated. I do agree with that.
Yeah, definitely.
I I just feel like a lot of the people that really loved it, like when it was first started airing, just went out and started reading the manga.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Like I'm still anime only for now. I'm gonna read it before it ends because I know I'm gonna get the ending spoiled because people are gonna just tweet about it
Yeah,
freely when it ends, probably to dunk on it.
yeah.
So I'm probably gonna read it soon, but like I don't know too many more anime onlys that exist for My Hero and are like deep in anime, right? Like there's plenty of people I know that watch like 3 anime and one of them is My Hero.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as far as like people I know that like would read manga, most of them have just read it because it's just then you're caught up and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm anime only, so
except for One Piece, you're caught up on that.
yeah. Except for One Piece, I actually caught up on that.
Yeah.
I have never actually that's not true. I tried watching One Piece. Oh my god, when was it now? Like 2016? No,
Mm.
2017, I
Mm.
think. And I just like bounced off of it.
No, that's understandable.
Yeah.
It's very long,
I
Yeah.
got
and
25. I know everyone's like you got to get like 30 something. You got to get to the hat scene and then it gets good apparently. But
Mm.
I got to they were the Sanji part where he's like making fried rice
mm.
and
Mm.
then Mihawk shows up. Like literally the episode that Mihawk shows up was when I stopped.
Mm.
Ah.
I just stopped watching.
Man, did you see the
Jeez.
fight? Did you see that
No,
fight?
I actually stopped
Ah.
Oh, dude, you
the
okay?
episode before.
Okay, I mean, you could not continue, but you gotta watch that fight, man.
Yeah, that was really good.
I plan
Jeez.
on going back at some point, like that and Bleach. I've never watched Bleach either.
Mm.
Ah.
Oh, I
I
mean,
was
so.
Tensa. Oh my gosh.
I I was very staunchly a Naruto kid growing up,
hmm.
and so I've
Oh,
obviously
Lion.
seen all of Naruto, but none of Bleach.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you like Naruto?
Yeah, it's Naruto's in a weird spot for me because like I love it so much, but I don't I never say it's like one of my favorite shows for
Mm.
whatever
Mm.
reason. I don't really know why that is. Maybe it's because it's 700 episodes long. But
Mm.
I mean, that's a good reason.
Yeah.
like without Naruto, I wouldn't be here right now. Without Naruto and Dragon Ball, I would not have gotten like back into anime when I got older, and like
Hmm.
been interested in watching other stuff. Like those were the seeds to like be watching stuff now, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm kind of the same. Like, one of my favorites, quote unquote. Like, I know Lion's gonna look at me like with a side eye because I never say
Well,
that this
let's
is one of
see.
my favorites. Or like, I really like Dragon Ball, like just Dragon Ball. But like, I feel like I'm not gonna say that it's like one of my favorites or anything. Like,
Mhm.
but it is like it contributed to my taste right now. Like, it contributed to me watching anime and even just looking at all the influence that it's had on like I don't know, just all the anime that have come out today. It's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I can't help but like, I don't know, really like it and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think we'd have Battle Shonen as we do today without Dragon Ball and specifically Dragon Ball Z, right?
Yeah.
Like technically in the manga, it's all Dragon Ball, which that blew my mind. That and Shippuden were the things that like blew my mind when
Mm.
I was like, oh wait, there's no Shippuden, it's just Naruto, and there's no Dragon Ball Z, and there is now because they re-released it, but it was just Dragon Ball, the manga.
Yeah.
Mm.
All the weird stuff they do for the anime.
Yeah, that struck
Yeah.
me pretty crazy. That was pretty crazy to me too. Like, I never knew that it was like, I don't know, that way.
Imagine One Piece pulling that. It's like
I
One
was thinking
Piece,
that.
and then it's like One Piece New World or something like that.
Honestly,
Like,
that might be better because I feel like people would be less
Mm.
intimidated to get into it because it's like split up into
Well,
parts instead of just
here's the
all being
thing
one thing.
though. That would be still 500 the first time, and Naruto wasn't even that much.
Mm.
it's 220. I don't know why I know that, but Naruto Part 1 is 220, including the filler, and then it's 500 is Shippuden.
Mm.
500
Yeah,
even.
yeah. The first part of One Piece would be Shippuden, just Shippuden.
Jeez. Yeah, wasn't the time skip around like episode 500 or something?
Yeah, it was like 500. I don't know exactly, but it was about that time.
Mm. Yeah, nah, cause I always look at the fact that it's 1,000 episodes, and I'm like, man, that's crazy. But I feel like I don't put into perspective that like these other series like Naruto, for example, are also
Mm.
like almost as long with 700 episodes. Or Dragon Ball is probably over 1,000 now with Super and GT and everything.
I mean, it's crazy to think that One Piece is 1,000. Yeah, it's not even the longest running anime.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, I'd say no, it's like Sazai-san, which is like a kid show, but
Yeah,
Detective
yeah,
Conan is longer too.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But yeah, you got to get on Bleach. I'm not gonna go on the rant here, but that's
Well, I
definitely something you
mean,
gotta give it.
this man is the one and only Bleach fan.
Oh my gosh, nah, I'm not that big of a Bleach
Maybe
fan.
maybe not the
Nah,
only
you
Bleach
are.
fan, but
Not
he
the
is
only
the only
one.
person who really loves it.
Yeah,
Like I've heard people like they like it, but you haven't met Tenzin.
yeah,
I
oh,
see
yeah.
I see a lot on Twitter of people, pick when the new season got announced. I was like not because to me Bleach was always like the little brother. It
Mm.
was like oh One Piece and Naruto, and then also there's Bleach.
Yeah,
And then like when the new season got announced, it was all of a sudden like all these people that I knew but I didn't know they like it was like oh my god Bleach, like people like really like Bleach. I had no idea.
yeah, because I feel like just Bleach fans, they're not really like, I don't know, they're not very like it depends because I feel like every fandom has like some level of toxicity, but like Bleach fans I feel like aren't really all out there in other people's faces with the fact that they really like it and stuff. So I feel like
Yeah.
when that announcement came around, just everybody was excited and like you really just got to see how many people were really excited. Like I feel like Bleach fans won't overstep. Like for me myself, like I know it's not the biggest of the big three. You know, I'm never gonna be like, oh yeah, I wish it got as more attention or as much as like the other two, just because like it's not that big of a deal. I just really like the series. So, but
It was it
yeah,
was tough out there for you guys for a while. I remember probably years ago now at this point, but like it was just like a punching bag. Like
yeah,
people would just because it was all the filler in the anime, and then it quote unquote got canceled, which is
Yeah.
a whole other can of worms I don't want to open right now. And then so it was basically just like people firing off jokes about it for years. And it was
Yeah.
like, if you popped your head up and was like, I like Bleach, people would just make fun of you.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, the last couple of years, it's like, back to being a respectable thing to talk about, which has been nice.
Yeah. It's really crazy how that happened because honestly, it was just I think it's been gone for like 10 years before it returned. So I don't know. I think it's just like, oh yeah, your manga isn't selling anything. It's done, and then your anime isn't here anymore. It's quote unquote canceled. Like you said, it was never really canceled, but like people were saying that and stuff, and it really was hard. Which is why I think that like when people are mad at like the announcement coming around and Bleach fans are just getting all excited and hyped and stuff like that, I feel like any fandom would do that. Like the Hunter x Hunter fandom did that when they were gone for a long time, and people were like, "Oh yeah, getting new chapters." I'm sure you guys can't imagine that because it's just like it's gone for so long, and like I just think that like people getting mad at the fact that they're celebrating that much is kind of like, well, what else did you expect to happen? Like it was gone for so long, and then everybody was like kind of trashing on it, like you said. So it's like yeah, but I'm glad that it's back to where it was. Its reputation is, I don't know, better at the very least.
Yeah, it's been nice. It's just that shonen like toxicity that I hate, where it's like you have to have your top one series, like you have to
Yeah.
have your favorite shonen jump series, and like that's it. You have to defend that show's honor against every other show, and that's the only thing you can do.
Yeah, yeah, no, I really do hate that because I think I told Anime Bro about this like the first time we met or whatever, like when I was on his like anime talks or whatever. But like
Mm.
my thing is like when I watch a show, I can like look at it for its flaw. I can look at it for what it is. I look at it. I'm not gonna say any show is perfect or anything. Like Bleach, I'll tell you
Yeah.
right now. Like Bleach has a lot of filler. It has it does have a big cast, which I like about it, but a lot of that cast doesn't get a lot of shine. Like it has a character. His name is Chad, and he gets shine towards the beginning of the series, but towards like the end, he kind of becomes irrelevant. Which I'm hoping they change in the anime because they said there's gonna be some changes. But I know there's some problems with Bleach, but I'm not like I really like it, but I'm never gonna defend it like to the death or like I can't like anything else or like it can't have any flaws. Like that's one thing I really don't like about just the anime fandom.
Yeah, like I like Black Clover. I like Jujutsu Kaisen. Obviously, I love Chainsaw Man. But for some reason, it's like, nope, you have to choose one. If you like Black Clover, you have to fight everyone else that Black Clover is better than My Hero. When I can just, it's like, I don't know. I enjoy both of them.
Yeah.
It just that doesn't get clicks. It doesn't get you the clout on
Yeah.
Twitter. If you're like, I don't know, I like all the anime. You need to make those spicy opinions. That's how you do it.
Yeah, definitely. Because I've been in arguments with people on Twitter with series I like, and it's just like you argue with them, and then you get to the end, and it's like, well, I like this series too, and it's like, well, why were we even arguing? You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, you were just acting like it's perfect, but it's that's something we're not gonna agree on, I guess, but you know.
Right.
Like we all like the same series. It's just some people just feel like they have to defend it no matter what for some reason.
Yeah, and I think you should be able to, really enjoy a series and also like point out its flaws
Yeah.
while also still being like, no, I love this series. It's really good. And that's just the thing I just fundamentally don't think works on Twitter. It's just like if anyone says anything is wrong with this series, people just like it's like sharks. It's like all of a sudden people just descend on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, One Piece hands.
Definitely. Oh my god, bro, you just reminded me. You guys remember what happened with Doofy when he rated one of the arcs a 7 out of 10? One Piece fans just attacked
Oh,
him.
What was the arc?
It was Water
Um,
7. He literally gave it a 7 out of 10. Which isn't
oh,
bad. And people are like,
um,
"Oh, 7 out of 10. You might as well not. You might as well stop watching
yeah,
it."
where did he put
that
like Roman's Dawn and stuff like that? Then more than 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I actually don't know. He had it all over
But
the place, but
heck, they can't. There's no way that's more than 7.
yeah, nah. It's honestly, man, because like I feel like you can. I feel like you can defend something without like I don't know. You have to understand the other person's point of view. Because, for example, if someone told me that like the Fullbring arc, I know you guys don't watch Bleach, but like the Fullbring arc of Bleach, that's the arc that people don't really like because it's right off a big villain and stuff like that. But if someone said they don't like the Fullbring arc, I'd be like, yeah, I understand that. But at the same time, this arc has a lot of character development and stuff like that. You know, so I feel like if they had been reasonable and be like, oh yeah, romance done, it's just the beginning of the series, so I understand why you don't like it. But no, they'll literally be like, oh, you're dumb for not liking romance done. That's where you meet all the characters, even if it was slow. And it's like they just tell on themselves. I don't know.
Like
Yeah.
I made a video a few years ago now. It's my most viewed video about Black Clover, and it was like Black Clover is so good now.
Mm.
About how like I started watching Black Clover. I don't think the beginning of that story is incredible. I think the manga does a little bit better, but I just think the story is pretty slow at the beginning and pretty generic, for lack of a better word.
Mm.
And then it gets really good about 40 episodes in, and then keeps getting better. And the amount of people that commented on that video, like Black Clover was always good, I'm just like, but my opinion is that it was not. That's my opinion.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're not wrong for that. I honestly do think like the beginning was a lot slower, and like even when you watch the anime, like there's the whole thing with the voice actors and stuff. They said that he was like a lot more
It
annoying
was his
towards the
first
beginning.
role.
Yeah,
It
but
was the Asta's voice actor, whose name escapes me at the moment, is also Shinra in Fire Force.
yeah,
Asta was his first role, like first voice acting role, and you can really tell because like the first few episodes are rough, and then it gets a lot better
yeah,
as it goes on.
yeah, it gets a lot better. But like especially like even now, like you see like the difference from the beginning to now is just night and day. Like everything they're going through, and like the manga, because I'm reading the manga right now, but everything that they're going through is just like it's fast paced. The art is a lot better and stuff like that. It's gotten so much better than the beginning was, which is why I don't understand why people will be like it was always good. Like you're not gonna read the first chapters and then read what's happening now and be like, oh yeah, this is the same exact quality.
Yeah.
Like no,
It's just like this like primal like if I admit any flaw in this series, like I will lose the argument if I admit there's any flaw in my series.
literally, somebody's gonna come assassinate me or something, just because I can't defend my series.
Right.
But yeah, honestly, it's rough, but I hope people start understanding that. I doubt there's any hope for that, but hopefully they do.
We need to normalize that a 7 out of 10 is good
Yeah,
and that a 5 out of 10 is mid.
yeah, definitely.
Because what's happened is this 7 out of 10 is now been used for mid when it's not. It's literally the mid would be 5 out of 10 in the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
It's like if you give anything less than an 8, it's like, oh my god, you hated it. I can't believe you hated that. You give it a 7 out of 10.
yeah, it's crazy, man. Like I don't
Well,
remember the
I
explanation.
think it's because my thing is during when I went to school, 7 out of 10 is like 70 out of 100.
Mm-hmm.
That was failing at school.
It's true. Yeah, that.
So if you put it at a 7, it's kind of like saying the show failed or that thing failed in some people's mind, I think.
Yeah, I think
That's a good
it
point.
just depends on the scale, really, because like
I mean, nowadays they changed it where you have to like do really, really bad to fail.
Mm.
yeah,
Because I remember because my mom, when she went through my stuff, she said all my paperwork that technically would have been failing now would be passing, and it would be like, really, and not even passing, but like pretty good passing, like B's and stuff. So it's probably mostly the mindset of people who were kids and they grew up with like 70 was bad,
mm.
like never anything less than 70.
I mean, that's kind of hard to say, just because like I also feel like a lot of people that are actually saying that are younger and just or uh I wouldn't say younger, but at the same time, maybe just newer fans to anime and manga. But I wouldn't be able to like pick one, honestly.
I think it's a good point though, because I think it probably started with that, right? Because 70% is like a C.
Yeah,
You get 50% if it's a fit, it's an F. At least here in the U.S.
yeah,
And then I think that just got ingrained in like video games ratings and anime scores.
Yeah.
And now the new fans show up and they're just told that like, oh, this is how it works. And
yeah.
people are like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, everything needs to be an 8, 9, or a 10, or it's bad.
Yeah, definitely. Like, cause the way that I'm seeing it, like I used to see it that way actually, but I stopped viewing it that way. I don't know what happened, but I guess like I just realized it was kind of weird to see it that way. But like when you start with a 7 and that's average, like you only have 3 more numbers to go above that to say, oh yeah, it's better. So I feel like it's probably way better to just do like 5 mid, like you said, just cause like I feel like nothing or not that many anime are gonna be touching those like anything below 5, just because it has to be really bad to just reach those. Like I haven't watched that many anime that have been anything below a 5. So like I feel like I don't know, we should just start using that scale more, because I really like I feel like people should start questioning how many shows they've seen that actually even would go below like a 5 or a 7. They wouldn't be able to say that many, honestly. So
Yeah.
I'm checking right now how many shows I have below a 5.
yeah.
I got a
Can I
lot.
take it?
Me personally, I've only watched one, and that I dropped it immediately. Like I didn't even finish the first episode. I was watching it. I was like, this is so bad. And I just turned it off. But I don't know. I guess I just
I
have
got
like,
a lot.
yeah.
I have 16.
Oh, okay, jeez. Well, that's not that much in terms of like all the anime out there.
Yeah, most of the stuff I watch I like, but I'm also a lot pickier now than I used to be.
Yeah.
But I also did watch like the entire. So I don't usually drop stuff. Obviously, we talked about One Piece earlier, but that's so long. It's like, oh, I didn't
Yeah.
drop it. I would be stuck there forever.
Yeah.
And so like I usually finish things that I watch, much to my detriment. So like I have I have like a 1 out of 10. I watched all of X Arm
Oh.
with some friends, luckily, but I did watch every single episode of X Arm.
Mm,
And the bad animation gets progressively less funny the further you get into it, because it just keeps happening.
jeez. Yeah. And
Um,
I was gonna ask, like, is it bad or fun bad?
it's
But
fun bad for a little bit, but you can only laugh so many times at like someone T-posing and not being animated properly
mm.
before you're just kind of like, I've watched 12 episodes of this. I'd like it to stop now.
True. Yeah, I can see that.
And I have like Promised Neverland season 2 down here, which is
Oh yeah, no.
its own problem that I'd like to make a video about one day.
Yeah.
Handshakers, I watched all that, which wouldn't recommend it, but it's certainly an experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like some other stuff. Probably my like most controversial thing that's down here is I gave Goblin Slayer a 4.
Mm.
I just did not enjoy the majority of that show.
Mm.
Season 2 comes out in the fall. I'm so excited.
Yeah, Goblin Slayer. I've watched it. I watched it so long. Wait, jeez, man, I feel
Yeah.
old now. That came out in like
Oh.
2000.
2018.
Yeah, that came out a while ago. But yeah, I
Mm.
watched it. I mean, it wasn't anything special. Like it, I'd probably have it like a 6 myself. But I feel like
It's yeah.
yeah, probably like a 6 or 5. Honestly, it's nothing crazy.
Bro, on my list, I got like 2 3s.
Yeah, I have. Now that you mentioned some of those, like Neverland season 2, and then like
Yeah.
Goblin Slayer, I do have more than just one that I probably put in like with like some ones and stuff. But I feel like I don't know. For the most part, I can't think of that many, just because I don't know. Maybe I have like a good just sense for picking an anime to watch, because I usually just go into an anime blind. Like I went into Code
Yeah.
Geass completely blind, and I didn't know that was gonna be as good as it was. So yeah.
Right.
There's a lot, like
Hmm.
particularly if you enjoy the medium. Like I really enjoy the medium, just like watching anime in general.
Yeah.
And so most shows, if they're like structurally sound and not boring, it will at least get like a 6. Like I'd say most shows that I'm like, oh, this isn't that good, but I enjoyed it kept my attention.
Hmm.
Like a 6, right? And then 7's like that, but a little bit better. And then 8, 9, 10 is where it's like, oh, I really enjoyed this, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that's how I describe it myself too. Just because like for Goblin Slayer, I wasn't like on the edge of on the edge of my seat, just trying to just I don't know,
Right.
being interested in everything that was happening. Like it was very simple, goblins. It I it could be more interesting just because like the world, the actual world, there's more to do than just fight goblins, but they don't ever elaborate on any of that just because the story is focused on like the Goblin Slayer. So
That's all
there's
he
Right.
wants to do.
yeah, it's not really much else aside from that. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Honestly, I can't think of that many anime that would have a low score. Anime, bro. You don't? Do you have that many anime at a low score?
Yeah, I got some.
Like what?
There was one I really regret called Yoso go no Sora.
Oh, I was gonna
Gosh,
watch that.
man.
I didn't see it either.
That was bad.
Bro,
Wow.
that shit. Yeah, man.
Jeez. Yeah.
It
Nah.
was.
I
Yeah.
I hear that name a lot, so I was just gonna watch it. I don't know what it is, but if it's bad, I might not watch it then.
But you still need to watch the bad shows.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you need to watch a bad show to like ground yourself. Really be like, ah, yeah, this is what the bottom of the barrel looks like.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna start Demon Slayer, so that that'll hold me over.
It's not under 5.
Yeah. It
No.
it's like a good 7. It's average. It's
Okay,
it's
I was about
not.
to say. I thought you were gonna say under 5. I was about to
Yeah,
say.
yeah, no, not under 5. It's better than Goblin Slayer. It kind of reminds me of Goblin Slayer in that like it's
Mm,
very simple and straightforward, but it is a little better
yeah.
because at least it tries to have a story. Whereas like Goblin Slayer,
Mm.
it's literally just, oh yeah, I want to kill goblins because stuff.
I was
Yeah.
hoping you were gonna say it reminded you of it because the titles are the same.
Oh, that too. I didn't even.
Goblin Slayer, Demon
Goblin
Slayer.
Slayer,
Oh,
Demon
man.
Slayer.
Yeah, it didn't even. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that too. Honestly,
Literally.
but yeah, nah. Demon Slayer is good. It's just one of those shows. It's like, like I. You're probably gonna hate me for this line, but I have Chainsaw Man over Demon Slayer.
He's right. It's a good opinion.
Yeah,
Correct,
that's his
correct
opinion.
opinion.
That is the correct opinion. There's no other right
I
one.
mean, well, let's.
Well, wait, you don't particularly like either of those, so which would you have above the other? I'm curious.
Which one would I have? Uh.
Which one, the pervert or the nice guy?
Uh. mm,
He's gonna say Demon Slayer. Watch.
Yeah, no, I am.
Oh my god.
You
I am.
guys anime only for Chainsaw Man, or have any of you guys read it?
I read it.
I read it,
Yeah,
but yeah, same. I forgot what happened. I
Oh,
just
well, you know.
yeah, I read it at a time where I wasn't able to remember or lock in everything that
Yeah.
was happening.
Did
Yeah,
you
I
read it
finished
like really
reading-
quick?
Yeah, I read it pretty quickly.
I found that with other Chainsaw Man people I know that have read it, and they just didn't read part 2, is like people binged it in like one day,
Mm.
and like I just like I can't read manga like that. I know people can. I have to read like maybe like 15 to 20 chapters a day at most,
Yeah, yeah.
or I just don't like keep track of what's like I don't like it doesn't go into my brain like what's happening,
Yeah.
what happened, what's going on. Like if I
Yeah.
read like 80 chapters in a day, it would just be like a mush in my brain.
Yeah, I feel like it's just specifically with Chainsaw Man because I was like specifically at that time I was like really busy, so I wasn't able to retain it. But I was hearing so much good about it, so I just wanted to read it. And then while I was reading it, I did have a good time. but it's just that like since I read it so fast, I kind of ended up losing everything. I couldn't really retain it, but I did start rereading it just to, I don't know, read it slowly and at my pace. But hopefully this time I can actually enjoy it. And then I heard that part two was good, so I'm gonna move on to that next.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying part two. I still think part one is better, but that's just because part one is complete and has like a complete story arc,
Yeah,
and part two is still like I don't know where that's the nice thing about reading it weekly. I think it depends, right? Yeah, waiting is brutal, but like I have no idea where it's going,
yeah,
and like that's I find that pretty rare nowadays with at least for anime, right?
yeah,
Where I'm just like most shonen I can kind of pick up what they're talking about, what they're doing, like what's gonna happen, like how it's gonna go. Oh, like he has a secret power inside of him that makes him really strong, and he's gonna, and there's a rival character, and they're gonna go fight. Like, I enjoy it. Like I'm not knocking it, but it's just like I know the story beats for most stuff at this point, like that.
Yeah.
And Chainsaw Man, I'm just like every week I'm like, oh no, nope, no idea, no idea what's happening.
yeah, yeah. I really like anime like that. I felt that way with Wonder Egg Priority. I don't know if you guys are seeing that, but it,
Yeah.
yeah, it was good in towards the beginning, but the ending, ah, man, I really didn't like it, and I heard there wasn't gonna be a season two, so. But I don't know if you guys have watched that or not.
I have.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like staunchly on the side of the argument of like endings aren't the end all be all to a story. Like, I think
Yeah.
if a show's doing good things before it and then fumbles the ending, it can still be like considered a good show.
Yeah.
And I stand by that, but man, that show makes that argument difficult to keep.
Yeah, definitely, man. Because that was like my main thing. Because I literally made a video about that and everything. It's like a little rant video where I was like, oh, yeah, you can't just, be coming on here on Twitter every other week saying, oh, yeah, this show is incredible, begging people to watch it. And then just because it ended a little sour, you say the whole thing was bad. You weren't just talking about it every other week. But with that one specifically, I feel like there are exceptions to that where, like, if the ending is just what everything is leading up to, like that basically determines everything else, and it's like, yeah, it'll probably ruin it. That's one of the exceptions. And with that, it's just like, she was doing everything that she was to like revive her friend, and then it doesn't happen. Like, it's like, well, okay, I guess.
Well, it's not even that. It's the fact that there's no ending, really, right?
Yeah,
It's just kind of like open ended, and they don't really know. They don't really, because I think they get to a good point in the last like last episode like before the last episode or two, where it's like, oh, like this is interesting. Like it's a twist. Like where are we going with this?
yeah.
And the answer is nowhere,
E- exactly.
and that's
Like,
the problem.
yeah, because they were, I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly, but they were talking about like whole other enemies and stuff like that they would have to face at some point.
Yeah,
And
they
it's,
introduce the
yeah.
like AI
Ah,
character, and it's like that's like one of the best episodes of the series. Like really interesting.
yeah.
And then she's just like not ever in the next couple episodes, and it ends, and it's like, okay,
Yeah,
sounds
man.
good.
It sucks. Like, and they didn't confirm that there was going to be a season two, did they? Or they said it's just
I
completely over?
I don't I don't imagine there will be. That production took so much out of like the team, right? Because there was the delay, and they didn't release the last episode for like a few months,
Mm,
and it was an original, right? So there's not even like, oh, you can go read the manga, because there's nothing. It was an original show.
yeah.
So I think they just cut their losses, made an ending, and just called it. I don't imagine there'll be a second season.
Yeah, man. It sucks, man, because it's a show that I would want to rewatch. Like, I'm gonna rewatch it one day, but I'm gonna have to go through that pain of having to go through that ending again. It's just the beginning was so good, and like it was such a novel idea, but like that ending just ruined it all. And we're not even probably not even gonna get a second season, so that sucks.
I think it's still worth. It's tough, right? Because people don't like recommending stuff like that because they're like, oh yeah, they have to be like it's good, but the
Yeah,
ending is bad or stuff like that.
yeah.
I still think it's worth a watch if you haven't seen it.
Mm,
But like, I'm trying to think, because like you should probably like watch like the first 8 or so. Like watch out the first like 10 or so episodes, right? Like I don't even
Mm.
know. Like it's worth like it's like such an experience. Like it's worth experiencing it in my mind.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Yeah.
regret that I watched it, but it's
Mhm.
just hard for me to be like, you should watch this, and then you're gonna get disappointed like I did.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's like asking somebody to read up on a manga or watch up on an anime that's on hiatus. Like if it's not even
Yeah.
complete, and they're just gonna catch up for the author to not be making new chapters or for the anime not to be around, then it's like, what's even the point? You know?
And it's not even like that or like Promise Neverland is a good example. I have like I don't like the ending very much. I think it's fine. I
Yeah,
think it was rushed. But like I can still be like, yeah, you should read Promise Neverland because I think the first 150 or so chapters are incredible, right? And I think to me like that's enough of like that's going to be an incredible experience. Like there's complete story arcs in that time. Like, and I think people like if you read it, like, oh, you're gonna love that, and then you might not be super happy with the actual ending, but like so much of the experience is worthwhile that I think it's just like you should read it anyway.
yeah,
But it's so much harder when it's a 12 episode or lower 11 episode show.
yeah,
It's easier and harder, right? Because it's less of a time commitment, but it's so much more like contingent on that ending because it's the ending is 1/10 of the show at that point.
yeah. Pretty much. Ugh, but yeah, it's a shame. Wait, you guys haven't watched One Direct Priority, right?
No.
Wait, you said you have Lion?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you agree with everything that was just said?
I mean, I do. I mean, I'm not really that. I don't really care too much about like anime's ending. Uh,
Hmm.
'Cause, like, what was it like? Another show where people complained about the ending was like Erased.
Hmm.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
I would.
People were like, "Oh, last few episodes are not that good," yada yada yada. But I'm like, okay, still, majority of the show was good, so I don't care.
Yeah, that's surprising. I've never actually heard anybody say that before. The last few episodes were really good in my opinion, because like something did happen that I didn't like. That's more just a personal thing. But like,
Mm.
I feel like the last couple episodes were just really good because it kind of wrapped everything up. It's the result of what, like, all his efforts pretty much. So I feel like
Yeah.
that pays off. But there are other like manga and shows, like for example, like Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is one of the examples where I don't think like, oh yeah, the ending just completely impacts the rest of the show. Like, cause the entire thing was good from like start to finish.
Mm.
Well,
I
not
don't
start
know
to
the
finish.
ending. I don't think you're going to spoil it, but I just want to jump out in front and say that I have not read it, so I do not know the ending. I'm waiting for the final part in
Yeah.
a couple
Ye-
I
months.
mean,
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm
I
just
just
saying.
wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
I've
nah.
gone like 6 years at this point.
Yeah, no, you're good. Honestly, bro, if anybody here would spoil you, me and Lion know who it would be anime
Yeah,
from.
we know it is.
Yeah, but you're good since he's not the one talking about it. But yeah, it was the like the ending for that one. Like a lot of people were complaining about it, but it wasn't so bad that it just completely ruins everything. Like I feel like the exceptions to that rule are, like I said, if like everything is hinging on the ending, like literally that is the main thing that they're trying to get to, and then it just kind of falls off, or if it's like I don't know,
Mm.
like a lot of things are left unexplained, like because I feel like you can get to the ending and not everything can hinge on it, but you don't get everything
Right.
that was kind of promised by the end of it. That's kind of like if you get to the end of I don't know, like
Mm.
so I'm trying to think of an example. It's kind of hard, but you get to an ending of a show where basically like there's like a big thing, like for One Piece, for example, there's like the true history. That's like getting to the end
Mm.
of One Piece, and they get the One Piece, but they don't actually tell you what the true history was. It's like,
Right.
okay,
well, I mean, in One Piece, the main thing wasn't what was the true history. It's making Luffy Pirate King.
yeah,
So even
exactly,
if they don't mention that, if he's a Pirate King, I think they're pretty happy.
yeah, they'll be happy about that, but it's like it's less satisfying of an ending when there are things that are left out that were made like big plot, not big plot points essentially. Like I would be pretty salty if they didn't say the true history, just because like
So
they
Chimera
hype
Ant
it up
arc.
so much. Chimera,
Yeah,
how so? How so? Well,
I
wait,
mean,
have you seen Hunter x Hunter, Bress?
Yes, yeah, I've seen. I haven't read the stuff past the anime, but I've seen all the anime.
Okay, go on in line.
so with me, it's like Chimera Ant arc. It's like it's like 60 episodes,
Hmm.
and very spend most of this building up to this big finale, big fight.
Hmm.
They get to it, and there was no really conclusion to it. It's just okay.
What we
It's
got,
a cool fight though.
yeah, we got it was a
It's
good
it's, it's
fight.
cool, but there's no like I mean, the only one of the actual ants that died was the girl.
Hmm.
She's
Well,
one that was she's the only one that was actually defeated.
yeah, I will say like there were some parts that were kind of anticlimactic. I feel like what's his name, Meruem, I feel like his fight was good, you know what I'm saying? I
It
feel
was
like
good, yeah.
even though he died in like a like not fighting or anything, I feel like it was he still had like a good conclusion. And same
Yeah.
for Pito, but I feel like the other two, like you said, it's kind of unsatisfying that they're just like, oh yeah, let's just die with the king, and I don't know, not try
Mm.
to get any revenge or become some have some form of importance to like just everything, like
Mm.
because they've already
I've
fought the entire time. I don't know.
I've come around on it. I actually didn't like the Ant arc very much when I watched it,
Hmm.
which was in 2015. Good lord. Because it honestly doesn't follow like a lot of the shonen like formula. Because what you go when you going into it, you're like, okay, so like they're gonna fight the king, and then all the side characters are gonna have their own fights with the other ants and stuff like that, and it doesn't really happen like that. Right? Like Netero fights the king, and then
Mm.
Gon doesn't even really fight. They don't even really fight Pito. That's just like its own thing that happens. Like it's its own tragic event
Yeah.
that happens instead of it's not like a traditional fight as you would see. The closest one to a traditional fight is the Yuppie one, and even that's like kind of
Mm.
weird because the ending is like he reaches enlightenment and he leaves. Is the ending to that fight,
Yeah. Yeah,
and so
it's
it
weird.
doesn't really follow that like traditional structure. And I think if you're watching it, it's all about expectations, right? Because if you go into being like, oh, we're gonna get all these sick fights, and then you don't get them, and it's like, oh man, that kind of sucks after all this build up. And it's like I get that. I just think it works really well, like thematically, with what the story is trying to do at that point.
Mm.
And like the Netero Meruem fight makes up for
Mm.
it, particularly in the anime. It's like unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like watching it, it was like it was good, but like I'm not gonna. It's definitely like overrated. I feel like
Oh yeah.
people really overhyped that arc. Like I feel like there are definitely other arcs in Hunter x Hunter that I like better,
I
but
like York New
Mm.
better.
yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
that York was better
Yeah.
than that, but I feel like a lot of people, or probably just like a lot of just anime fans in general, they'll look at one like the biggest arc of this series and they'll just be like, "Oh, this is so good. You need to watch it. It's perfect. There's nothing
Mm.
wrong with it." And you watch it, and then it's kind of just like, "Oh, well, okay."
Yeah.
But yeah.
That was my problem with Chimera Ant arc because before I watched Hunter, I always heard, oh, Chimera Ant arc, oh, it's top 3 best shonen arcs, yada yada yada.
Yeah,
So I'm
no.
like, okay, let's see if it is.
That's what
Yeah.
gets you. It's the expectations. I've learned
Exactly.
that the expectations will
Yeah.
get you because if you go into something and people tell you it's bad and it's not, you're like, oh wow, that was actually really good, and you enjoy
Yeah.
it more than if someone hypes you up as like this is like that's the thing that I think happened to a lot of people with Chainsaw Man was like this is the people are like this is the best shonen manga of all time.
Mm.
Mm,
Like, this is incredible. You need to read this, and then people go in either with the expectation that it's going to be something it's not, or they go in trying to prove that wrong because they like another series better. Or they just like it's some people are just like that, or they like being contrarians.
mm,
And so you go into it, you go into Chimera Ant Arc being like, oh, is this really all that? And then you like it's really easy to find the flaws. It's not a perfect arc. Very few things are perfect. and so it's so easy to just like pick it apart. I feel like if you're going in expecting it to be good, it's kind of weird. It's like a really weird thing where like you want to recommend shows to people and stuff to people, but then like sometimes if you do that, they might not like it because of that.
Mm.
I don't know.
Right.
It's weird.
Yeah, like I feel like the best way to go into a show or just an arc is just blind, because it was like for
That's
me.
difficult,
Yeah,
So it's so
especially
hard
with like,
now.
these old series like Hunter x Hunter, One Piece.
yeah,
You know, so that's why I stay away from like these launch shows, because I always hear, "Oh, this is good, this is good."
yeah. No, like you just I feel like the best way to go into one blind is just staying offline, but even then that's easier said than done. But I feel like I don't know, for me, because like I went to Code Geass completely blind. I had like literally no idea of what it was or anything like that, and I really ended up enjoying it. But I feel like if I went into that, because obviously I know about Code Geass now and I know about its fandom, everybody
Right.
calls it like amazing. You know what I'm saying? And they say it like has one of the best endings of all time. If I got into it with my hopes that high, like I might have not found it as enjoying just because I was expecting it to be way better than it actually was or something. I still think it's really good, but I I don't know. I probably wouldn't.
Some
I
shows
don't know.
can break through that, like with Arcane a few years ago. I'm not really in the league, so I wasn't watching it when it was like as it was coming out.
Mm,
And everyone was like, "Oh, this is incredible! This is incredible! This is the best show! Oh my god, it's so good! It's so good!" And I finally I'm like, "Okay, fine, I'll watch it," and I loved it. I watched it all in like a day and a half. It was like it's very very good. But it's just that's just because it's good enough to kind of break through that like cynical like I'm gonna try to see if it actually is that good, and then it is good.
yeah.
Same thing kind of happened with me with my top one, my peak fiction is Full Metal Alchemist,
Hmm.
and
Mm,
that was my 100th anime that I watched, and Brotherhood specifically. And
mm,
so it was like years of people being like, "You should watch this. It's so good. It's incredible. It's the number one show on Mal, right?" And then I watched it and really liked it, like loved it. Right, it's my favorite show. So
mm.
sometimes it works.
Yeah, definitely sometimes because I feel like there you can only I don't know. I feel like you can only hype something up so much. Like if you hype something up to just be incredible and it really ends up being like I don't know, incredible or better than you thought it would be, then you kind of I don't know get the payoff from like all the hype that people were saying about it. But I don't know. Like another good example is One Piece, for example. That was like
Mm.
they had the whole Gear 5 thing or whatever, and I feel like with that, like the actual episode where they showed it was just meh. But last episode, or I think it was the episode before last episode, was like really incredible. I feel like they were just too busy hyping it up because the whole thing about it is that everybody knew about it because manga readers saw it and they would not stop talking about it for years straight. And to the
Hmm.
point where even like the actual like anime creators like put it on their YouTube channel, revealed the transformation before it actually came out. So it's like okay, well, all that hype is just like
Yeah.
for an episode that is just kind of like half of it wasn't even focused on him, and like it was like focused on a different person, and it was just using reanimation and stuff like that all the time. It's just I don't know.
Gotta be one of the most spoiled anythings I've ever seen in anime.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Like even me, like I was solely anime, like just anime only at that point, and I knew about it, but like every time I would see it, I would just try to look somewhere
Yeah.
else.
Uh
But
huh.
it was hard, man. It was hard.
Mm.
But yeah.
I'm amazed. I don't know many people who are that caught up with One Piece, but are still anime only.
Yeah. Well, I'm caught up with it. I think I started reading like 2 weeks ago,
Mm.
or well, I started reading it a while ago. I'm not sure when, but definitely like within the last couple months. But I don't know. It was a little hard to just be anime only, catching all the way up, just because like I feel like I knew so much of what was gonna happen, which kind of took away from the hype factor. But I don't know. I somehow made it through. It's fun fact that actually made me stop watching One Piece for a while because they spoil so much. Like I
Mhm.
think it was I was on YouTube one day, the very day that it came out, just a couple hours after the episode came out or whatever, and then it was like a new episode, and then he used a technique that he hadn't used in like hundreds of episodes, and I was waiting for that technique to be used again, and the first thing I see on YouTube is Luffy uses whatever technique, and I'm just like, oh my god. And I got so annoyed that I just stopped watching it. Like, it's so easy to get spoiled with a series that long, just because, like, I don't know, people have already watched it, and I guess they just want to.
And that popular.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Like, yeah, I don't want to spoil Bleach, but like Anime Bro had something as well where he knew about it before it actually happened, and it's just like, oh, you know,
Yeah.
it wasn't all that big for
Yeah.
him. But yeah.
And I kind of ruined it, and then Tensas hated me.
Yeah.
I've
Literally.
I have literally only seen one scene from Bleach,
Yeah.
and it's you guys have all seen it, right? So I can just kind of say
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah, go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's the scene where Aizen stops Ichigo's sword and the music stops. Like, that's the only scene I've seen where the victory theme is playing, and then he stops the sword and it cuts the music, and that's just like one of the coolest things I've ever seen in any anime.
Literally, man. It's so good. Like, I really don't understand how people don't like it, Anime Bro. But
Yeah.
it's just I
Well,
don't know.
I mean, you got to understand. On its own, I could see it would be very hard, but it's compared to Naruto and One Piece. Those
It
are
is
people's
better.
childhood.
It is better than Naruto. Let me not. I'm sorry.
So it's not being compared as its own thing. It's being compared to the other big three,
Yeah,
One
but it
Piece
doesn't
and
have to be.
Naruto.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah,
have to be.
but that's what most people will do it.
Yeah,
That's
that's what
how
most
most
people do. Doesn't mean you have to.
Exactly.
I'm not
Exactly.
saying Bleach is bad. I'm just saying, you know,
Yeah, Leo, you are. Yeah, Bleach, One Piece, Naruto. Yeah, that's the correct order.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's the order for me, anyways. I understand other people
Yeah.
liking One Piece and Naruto better, but it's just like,
Yeah.
bro, Bleach is
The,
so good.
yeah, and that reminds me. I've actually started reading Bungo Stray Dogs now,
Oh yeah,
oh,
okay,
nice.
nice,
and
nice.
Look at that lion.
How is
it's
it?
pretty horrible. Not gonna lie.
Oh,
The
are you
anime is a
still
little.
a fan or no?
Mhm.
Are you still a fan or no?
I am, but
Mm.
I like the anime more because I don't know
Mm.
why, but the manga, like the dialogue, bro. This man was like, you know what? Let's do like Shakespearean.
Well, they're all writers,
Oh,
right? Isn't that like they're all supposed to be
yeah,
like?
Yeah,
isn't
like
the
the
references like
references and stuff, but
Yeah.
like even like the actual dialogue of the manga is like very, you know, like it's it's very different than normal manga.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, no, that's I've never heard of that before. You mean just like the way they speak or the way that they uh write or also?
Well, what do you mean the way they write? Would you,
Like you said Shakespearean. Like, what do you mean by that?
yeah, like how do I describe
so
it?
they speak like do they write it as if it was Shakespeare himself who wrote it?
Yeah.
Like
Or they're just like very verbose. They
yeah.
just use a
Yeah,
lot
it's
of
like
fancy words.
yeah, like a lot of it, and it's like,
Hmm.
and it's I can't remember one
I mean that's
he
pretty unique
he
for a manga.
he doesn't like it
Yeah, it
because it
is
has
unique,
big
but
words.
it's not that. It's like it's just like going from like all the other stuff I read, going to this is like,
Hmm.
wait a minute.
That's understandable, I guess. Kind of. It's like I've gone from like simpler manga to I don't know more complex ones, but at the same time, I don't know if that's exactly what you're describing here.
I don't know if I will be able to like have actually like examples of stuff like that, but yeah, it's just a lot like I don't know, like I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. Though. I can like envision what you're explaining. I also can't explain it, but I like know what you're saying.
mm.
Yeah, I'm just looking through the panels now to see if I can find stuff like that.
Actually, we can look it up. We're all on a computer, I hope. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. Like it's changed now. Now I'm at like chapter 70 now. It's just normal dialogue. It's not that like
Huh.
the way it used to be. But the
Okay,
first like
yeah,
few
that's
chapters,
weird.
the first
That's
few chapters
weird.
was very. I'll
Let's
see
see,
if I can
Bungo
find
Stray Dogs. A bowl of chowser tea, rice over. Maybe this is a bad translation.
You know, I didn't think about. I didn't think about that.
True.
It could just be translated poorly.
Yeah, that could probably be why it's weird.
Yeah, that is true. I
No, it's
didn't
not
even
weird.
think
That's
about
just the way it's said.
Oh, okay.
You need to understand context. This man is literally homeless. He's starving. So
that.
I've never watched it though. I've heard nothing but good things. That Bungo's like
Mm.
at least the anime is really good.
yeah. I mean, it's not really that much action, but
Mm,
I do enjoy it.
okay, interesting. Wait, anime, bro. Your favorite anime is JoJo's, right? Just checking.
Yeah, my favorite anime is JoJo's.
Okay, just checking. Yeah.
I should send a photo of my JoJo shrine that I have behind my desk.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
nice. Yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah.
Put in guest. No, put in general. Let everyone see it.
I will give me one. Actually, I don't. I might. My phone's currently. Yeah. Okay. My phone's currently full of storage. So I'll look. I'll look.
Yeah.
I'll look for the photo. But if not, I'll send it to you after we're done.
Yeah.
I found one dialogue. So this kid is saying, "I was endeavoring to shuffle off this mortal coil, and you had to involve yourself." Like
Holy crap. This guy found Shakespeare and was like, you know what? I'm gonna write a manga.
Literally.
so
Okay.
that's what I mean.
I see what
yeah.
you mean now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, I haven't read anything like that. That's pretty unique.
I'll read Bunga now.
Well, I mean, it sounded unique, but then when you said it, they talk normally afterwards. Then it's like,
It's not
oh,
that much like. It's still like kind of the same, but it's a little bit more now like a bit normal because now there's like
Mm.
like Americans and Russians. So
Mm. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. I might give that a read at some point. But yeah.
Let's hope so.
I mean, I watched it. I think the one thing definitely that brother and sister relationship. I gotta say that is a weird relationship that they have.
Yeah.
Hey, Shakespearean. That's the old times, baby.
He makes
That
a
is a
good
weird-
point.
That's a very weird,
Yeah.
weird relationship.
Yeah, it's weird, but that's when wasn't that what people were getting mad at with Mushoku Tensei? Like it's like old, so like I don't know, younger relationships and like in
It's not that old though. It's not like 300 years old, right?
yeah, gotcha. Okay, yeah. Well,
I can't find this photo, so I'll have to just send it to you later. But I'll explain it for the audio podcast that we're on. I have like individual portraits of the first 6 JoJo's,
Mm.
and then just some other assorted JoJo's posters around them, and then I have like figures of Jonathan, Joseph, Jotaro, Josuke, and Giorno. Because when I bought those, there's no Jolene in that figure line because they're like all the same line of figure.
Yeah.
So I don't have any Jolene, but I do have those like nice-ish figures of all of them.
Yeah.
I need to do
But
that with Bleach.
This one's gonna get a life-sized Rukia statue.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1-to-1.
And
Nah,
he's gonna
not
come up
even.
and be like, "Look at this! I'm with my girl."
Not even, bro. Yoruichi. That would be the one I would get.
Bro, in that specific pose.
Yeah,
Oh, let me find it. I'm gonna post it and guess. There's like a really good
yeah.
figure of her.
I think I know what you're talking about. I'll see when you send it, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna get a Yoruichi figure one of these days. I'm gonna get judged for it.
Gotta get that specific pose she does.
Yeah, definitely, right. Absolutely.
This
Bro.
is the one that I was thinking of.
Yeah, let's see this.
I guess that's not the pose, but that was just the figure that came to mind.
Yeah.
So you gotta. I think I might buy this one now.
Yeah, let me open it up. Let me see
For
this.
$200. Oh my god.
It's quality. You're paying for the high
I
quality.
mean,
Yeah, this one. Yeah, I saw someone on Twitter had this one. I was like, give me the link right now. I'm getting that. But it was
For,
it was cheaper when I originally saw it, but
yeah,
I might have to fork over too.
because anime just keeps getting more popular now. So
True, yeah.
like, yeah, like, let's make money.
Yeah. But oh, there was I don't know if you guys
Mhm.
ever saw, but have you guys seen that power figure that they had on I saw it trending
Power?
on it was
Yeah.
trending on
No,
Twitter.
The toilet. Her on the toilet.
Nah, not that one. It was I don't even want to send it.
it's
it's
just saying that.
all
Just
right.
shoot on stream.
Wait, what
Oh,
is
now I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah, it was very it started trending. It was like I don't know why Chainsaw Man fans are so like pent up for keeping the stream safe, but they just I don't know, like they get crazy over Makima, over Power,
Yeah.
even Kobeni. Like I don't know what people see in her, but oh I kind of I don't know what.
The fan art industrial complex,
Yeah,
not ruined. I think ruined's a little too unfair, but just really messed with that series
yeah,
in my opinion,
definitely.
because like reading it, it's like very much like outside from the ones like there's a couple scenes with Power and Makima separately. Like outside of those, like Power is like a gremlin.
Yeah,
Like that's why I'm never like interested in any of the like pseudo NSFW or like like spicy art of Power because I'm just like no,
yeah.
that's just not her character. Like she's like eight, she doesn't bathe.
Yeah.
She like literally like a like goblin
Yeah,
character.
yeah,
A- And then Makima's a lot more like soft spoken and like um I don't even know. I was just saying interesting, but a lot more like not the like dom like thing that they had going on with
yeah,
the fan art too.
definitely, man.
Like I
It's
think going into the anime, people had like weird expectations for those characters that are not actually followed through in the story.
yeah, definitely. It's really crazy just how much they skewed what it actually is. Like even with you have people that are so like they're so taken over by that. Like it's like hypnosis almost where you'll tell them, "Oh yeah, Power doesn't shower," and they'll be like, "Hear me out though." It's like, "No."
Yeah.
It's like, "No."
Hear me out.
Like I do not like Power. She does
I
not
mean, you
shower.
like fish, then I guess that's fine.
Yeah, literally, bro. It's like Power does not shower. I'm fine off that. Come
Yeah.
on now. Like like even Denji like in the what was it in the first couple episodes he was
Mm.
like he was like when she uses the bathroom like like it like just ruins the toilet completely. It's like nah
Yeah.
that's
And she
horrible.
doesn't flush. That's like the whole thing for that
Yeah.
chapter is she doesn't bathe, she doesn't flush the toilet,
Yeah.
she won't eat her vegetables. It's just like
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, I don't know what people see in her, but if that's I mean probably the fan art really, but
yeah.
aside from that, nah. Like if the fan
I
art
mean,
was accurate,
yeah.
and I
She's
feel
one of my
like
favorite characters. Like she's one of my favorite characters from the series. But I feel like that's a different distinction than like the waifu war sort of
Mm.
thing that people do with characters.
yeah, definitely. Like I'll look at her and I'll be like, oh yeah, she's a cool character. Like I like her, you know.
Mm.
But it's like I don't know. I just don't see her as like you said like a waifu or anything like that or
Mm.
like it's I don't know. I just can't. That's I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, any female character, people are always gonna be just on top of that.
Literally,
Yeah.
like it could be the most. I'm pretty sure there was like a background character for an anime once where they didn't even have any big role and they're just like, oh no no, they just made like a bunch of like art of her and it's just like, oh, okay, I don't know how you do this, but
Yeah.
yeah,
If a show's big enough, every single character will have like fan art. Like
true,
everyone
Yeah.
will have a fan. It's just what happens.
true, true. That's it's kind of off topic, but it's not really, but it's kind of what Genshin is like Genshin Impact that has like a lot of art for its characters. Like I don't know. I honestly don't know how it got as popular as it is, but Genshin is like a game that just has a lot of, I don't know, just art
Right,
of every single character.
it's like custom built. It's like custom built to get people to draw art of the characters.
Literally. I feel like now that I think about it, that's probably like every single gacha. Just because like I don't know,
You need
like
something to roll for.
exactly. But yeah, jeez, man. I mean, I guess now that we're on the topic of games, I'm surprised we've been going for an hour. It doesn't feel like it's been an hour, but on the
Yeah.
topic of
Yeah.
games, do you play
Yeah.
any games, Brass?
Yeah. I definitely
Are
used to
you,
more,
are you a Kingdom
but
Hearts fan?
yes.
Oh
So
my god.
Yeah, yeah,
that's
Yeah.
yeah.
the origin of my profile picture is I originally was on started on Twitch and I was streaming, and one of the first games I ever streamed was Kingdom Hearts,
Hmm.
Mm.
and that was before I had like any quote unquote branding. And so one of my friends drew that for me, and I've just been using it ever since because I like it.
Hmm. Nice,
Um,
nice.
but I have played through almost all. Like I've either played through them or watched all the cutscenes, but I've played through all of them on stream actually
Hmm.
years ago now. Um, but I played three. I haven't played anything since three, and there was like a couple spin-off games after that. But three was like a little disappointing
Hmm.
for me. Enjoyed it, but it was all right.
Okay.
Um, but yes, I have been playing some. I almost said Breath of the Wild, some Tears of the Kingdom.
Hmm.
Playing a little bit of Armored Core 6. I need to get more into that. I was spending so much time editing the Chainsaw Man video recently that I wasn't doing anything other than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I need to play some of that. I love beat Elden Ring last year. Love Elden Ring,
Hmm.
and I used to play Overwatch like religiously.
Ah.
Mm.
I have like 800 hours in Overwatch.
Dang.
Nice.
I still play it occasionally, but just like with some friends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. That's a nice lineup. Are you like a Souls fan?
Yeah, I think I am now. I played Dark Souls 1 for the first time back in 2019,
Hmm.
and I enjoyed it well enough. And then I actually didn't play another one until Elden Ring, but
Okay.
I loved Elden Ring. So I need to go and I need to play Bloodborne. I need to play Sekiro.
Okay.
I just haven't made time for it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of those games myself, but like I've played Bloodborne, I played Sekiro. Aside from those two, I think I played a little bit of one of the Dark Souls. I don't remember which one, but I haven't even gotten like I bought Elden Ring for $60. I haven't played it just because I haven't had time to like play it at all. Like now, like my schedule is getting a little more freed up, but even though that is the case, like I've been busy for like years, so I will buy a game and I will literally just not play it. So I have a bunch of other games that I haven't played that I'll probably play before I play Elden Ring. But how's Armored Core? Because I heard that was like good. I know that's like that was made by the same people.
It's not really it's like a Souls like at all,
Uh,
but if you like mechs, it's wonderful. It's
okay.
basically just like I'm dumbing it down, but it's just like you build your own mech and you fight other mechs in
Mm,
missions and stuff.
okay.
And if you basically like if the idea of like piloting a mech and just like specking it out with giant like rail guns or missiles or whatever
Mm,
is appealing to you, you'll enjoy the game.
okay.
Like
Yeah.
that's kind of the core for me at least.
Yeah. Okay. I'll probably get into it then because I feel like I'm flip-flopping now, but I am a pretty big mech fan. I before I wouldn't have said it just because I hadn't watched that many, but I've watched like anime
Mm.
like Gurren Lagann, what is it called, Geass, stuff like that. So I've watched a couple mech anime. So I don't know. I feel like the idea of mech just I don't know, has become more cool to me over the years. But I'm definitely probably gonna get on Armored Core 6 at some point. But,
Yeah, they just make good games. They just make like really high quality video games.
okay, nice, nice. But yeah, and Tears of the Kingdom. I just recently beat Breath of the Wild. I haven't even actually like gotten Tears of the Kingdom. Is that good?
It's very good. It's also like too big. Like not too big.
Mm,
It's incredible. It's an incredible game. I just bounced off of it a little bit. I haven't played that much of it recently
yeah.
because I like started it, played like 4 or 5 hours,
Mm,
and I was like just through the tutorial area basically.
Uh,
And I was just like, oh my god, there's too much. Like it was like choice paralysis.
uh,
There was too much to do, so much to see that I just kind of stopped playing. I put it down, and I haven't gone back. I need to
hmm.
now that I'll hopefully have a little more time. Well, then I see this thing, and I'm working on new videos now, but hopefully I have more time now. So I would like to go back to it and play through it at the very least.
Yeah, yeah, I'm kind of in that same boat. Like I'm just I'm working on like two collabs right now with other people, and then I got to make a return to my own channel before I can sit down and play a game because I feel like
Yeah.
if I sit
Hmm.
down and just start playing a game, it's gonna be like, you could be making a video for your own channel. I know you just like I'm gonna talk to myself like I know you just worked on two collabs with other people and you're doing the podcast and everything, but you should probably make a video so that you don't completely fall off the face of the earth.
Uh-huh.
That's the like the double-edged sword of content creation. Is it there's you can always be doing more
Yeah,
because it's all just based off your own time and what you want to do. Like you could always be doing more, but also like you shouldn't force yourself to be doing more
yeah,
because you should have a social life and have like other stuff you enjoy doing. And I try to tell myself that a lot because a lot sometimes I'll just get locked in of like, oh, I need to just work on a video and that's it, and then I'm not doing anything else.
yeah, yeah. Because like I don't know, I'm kind of the same. It's just like I get really focused on this wanting to put a video out myself that like even if I have 10 other different things in the same kind of area that I'm doing on my plate, when I finish them I'm gonna want to get to my own channel.
Mm.
Like I usually don't like I don't want to like go on the community tab of my own like channel and just be like, oh yeah, so I made this video. Like I'll tell them, yeah, go check the videos out. People who watch me, just
Mm.
because it's like, I know I haven't posted, so if you want to see me, at least I'm on somebody else's channel talking. But it's just like, not making videos on by myself, just like posting on my channel. It's like I could have
Mm.
something on my channel, but I gotta remind myself like, if you've worked on two collabs back to back, and you have work, you have school, like it's not a bad thing to take a break. So I
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I gotta balance that and just actually putting something out because I don't want to get too focused on a game or too
Hmm.
focused on relaxation. It's just really a balance that you gotta work with.
And
Right.
it's tough because
Yeah.
it's different for everyone, right?
Yeah.
Because like all the times I'd be like, I don't really want to work on stuff today, and then it's like a couple more days, and then all of a sudden it's been a couple weeks. Like this year, I've only uploaded 4 videos
Jeez.
because I was working so much on the Chainsaw Man video, and like if I wasn't feeling it, I just wouldn't work on it.
Yeah.
And at some point, I just had to be like, no, you have to work on this every day because it was just like going like weeks upon weeks upon weeks, particularly like days I have work. It's like, I wake up, I go to work, I'll like go to the gym afterwards, make dinner, come home, and it's like 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
Mm.
And it's like, okay, I have 2 hours. Do I want to edit or do I want to like watch or play something?
Yeah.
And a lot of times I'll be like, oh no, I'll play something, and then it's 1 o'clock, and I didn't do any video work that day, and it's
Yeah.
just like it happens so fast.
Yeah, same honestly. Like even with the collabs, I'm just like I have I don't want to out myself here for the people who are waiting for me, but like I have stuff done, but it's usually like when I come from work, it's between like, oh yeah, do you want to get more done or do you want to like
Mm.
take a break because you did just work like 7 hours or whatever or 8 hours, so it's
Mm.
like okay, you gotta choose between one of those two, and then you also gotta consider, oh yeah, well you have school on this day and you work at these times on these days, so what would be the best time? So like it's like I'm probably just gonna have to form a schedule for myself,
Yeah.
because like the morning time for me personally is like the best time to do anything, whether that's relaxing or working on anything,
Yeah.
but I'll probably just use it for working on things and then use when I get off work, if I get off early, for relaxing, just because like I don't know, I feel like that's probably the best time instead of coming home and just putting even
Mm.
more effort into doing like a script or something. But
Yeah,
yeah.
different for everyone. Whatever. Like for me, the morning is the worst time because
Mm.
I like sleeping. So a lot of times I'll stay up late and do work. I'll get a lot of work done at like late at night.
Yeah.
It's just whatever works.
Yeah, it really does depend on the person. But I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I don't know about you, Lion or Hugh Anime, bro. How
Mhm.
you guys what is your guys' process like?
Like like the calendar on your phone, you can like make like things like 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've like put the whole thing like filled.
Mm.
So I wake up at like 7, then I chill until 8. Then I go to gym until like 9. And from 9 a.m. to like 11 a.m. I'll be doing like software stuff. And then 11 to 2, I think, is where I just do my videos. So like everything's like kind of like planned out. The moment the alarm on my phone goes off, like, okay, it's time to do it, and I just switch to that.
Mm. Okay. What about you, Anime, bro?
One thing I try to do is I try to do things on a schedule. Like one day I'm working on this part of the video, next. But the sad thing about me is I have ADHD, so that basically means I'll be like looking for a clip, looking for a image on another thing, and then oh look, there's a YouTube video on something, and my
I feel that.
attention's like there, and then I look back and I'm like, oh, I did nothing for like 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.